Hello guys, so in this lecture I am going to start flow control policies. Okay, so let us begin with the flow control policies. Flow control policies or methods. Let's say there is a sender and let's say there is a receiver and there is a link between sender and receiver. So we can say that when these policies are required, flow control policies are required. That means we can say that let's say one is transmitting the data packets and these will be initially stored at the receiver end in the buffer. Let's say this is the buffer. Let's say first packet is transmitted and received at the receiver, then second packet, then third packet, then fourth packet. Now we can say that if sender is little faster, then we can say that if sender is transmitting the data at a high rate, then there may be a possibility that if receiver is slow, then it is unable to process the data at that time, isn't it? So we can say that if a receiver is slow as compared to the speed of the sender, isn't it? Then we can say that if receiver is not able to process all the data transmitted by the sender, sender is transmitting the data very fastly, isn't it? Then we can say that there is a need to control the flow. That's why we can say that flow control policies are important and required, isn't it? Okay. Now, first one is what we can say that stop and wait. So, first policy is stop and wait, isn't it? So, what is the meaning of stop and wait? We can say that let's say this is the sender and this is the receiver. Now, let's say sender transmits a data, isn't it? Let's say data packet 1. Now this packet is, we can say that processed by the receiver after some time, and once this data packet is processed, then receiver will send an acknowledgement informing to sender that I consumed the data. Now I want data packet number 2, isn't it? So we can say that that is stop and wait. Stop and wait means we can say that yes, a sender transmits the data and gets stopped and waiting for the acknowledgement. So we can say that once that the data packet is consumed by the receiver, then receiver will transmit an acknowledgement that I consumed this particular data. Now I am ready to accept the next data packet, isn't it? The now sender, once the sender received the acknowledgement, then we can say that sender will transmit the next data, isn't it? Okay. So let us analyze this one by using the timeline diagram, isn't it? So timeline diagram. So what is the timeline diagram? Let's say this is sender side, this is the receiver side, isn't it? And time is going to increase in downwards, isn't it? So time is increasing from top to bottom. Means that is timeline diagram. As we proceed in the bottom, that means we can say that time is increased or going to increase, isn't it? Initially, we can assume that time is 0. This is the instant where time is 0. Now, let's say at this particular time, yes, we can say that sender will transmit a data packet, and this time is, let's say, that is TT, transmission time. Yes, that is the transmission time. That means the data packet is placed over the link. Now, this data packet will reach to the destination. So, we can say that yes, this data will reach at the receiver end. This is, we can say that the data packet get reached at the receiver. That means last bit of the data packet is received at the receiver end. So we can say that yes, this time taken, yes, this time taken is what we can say that this time is propagation time, PT, isn't it? Or propagation delay. isn't it? Okay. Now, data get received at the receiver end. Now, sometime let's say that is queuing delay, and after that there will be some processing delay, isn't it? I discussed in the last lecture regarding queuing delay and processing delay. After that, we can say that let's say this is the yes transmission time for acknowledgement. ACK means acknowledgement. Now, acknowledgement is placed over the link. Now, this acknowledgement, let's say this one is received at the sender end. Now, we can say that this time from here to here, or let's say this time from this point to this point is again we can say that that is propagation time, isn't it? Now we can say that this transmission is completed. One data packet is we can say that received and acknowledged, isn't it? Now sender will transmit the next packet, isn't it? Next data packet will be transmitted now. So we can say that total time taken, we can say that total time will be what? Total time will be transmission time for data plus propagation time plus queuing delay plus processing time plus transmission time for acknowledgement and again propagation time for acknowledgement. So you can see propagation time for data as well as acknowledgement for both it is same, because propagation time depends on the distance and velocity, and you can see a distance between sender and receiver is same, as well as velocity is a we can say that property of the medium or channel, means in that particular link the signal will transmit with the same rate, isn't it, or with the same velocity. So propagation time does not depends the data size, it depends on the distance and velocity. So whether it is the data or acknowledgement, propagation time will be the same. Now we can ignore queuing delay and processing delay, I discussed in the last lecture. So yes, we can say that also. So remaining time will be transmission time for data plus transmission time for acknowledgement plus twice of PT, isn't it? Also, yes, in general, we can say that the size of the acknowledgement is very small. So, yes, transmission time for acknowledgement also be ignored. But whenever it is mentioned in the question that we have to consider transmission time for acknowledgement as well, then we will consider this one. If nothing is given about the size of acknowledgement and all, then we will ignore the transmission time for acknowledgement. So effectively we can say that total time will be the TT for data plus twice of propagation time. That will be the total time, isn't it? Now, why it is called stop and wait? So we can say that yes, this time is ignored, isn't it? This time queuing delay and processing time is ignored, isn't it? Okay. So I hope this one is clear to everyone. So this is the complete cycle, isn't it? This is called a cycle time also because we started at the sender, then go to the receiver, then again, yes, come back to the sender. That's why it is known as cycle time. Nothing else. Total time is also known as cycle time, isn't it? Okay. So we can say that let's say if we ignore the queuing and processing delay, so ultimately our yes timeline diagram looks like that. This is the transmission time, isn't it? Then this is the propagation time, isn't it? I'm ignoring acknowledgement transmission time also. And there will be one more PT to travel the acknowledgement at the sender side, isn't it? Okay. So we can say that here, yes, the sender will transmit the data, isn't it? And get stopped, isn't it? Sender will transmit the data and will stop transmitting, Now yeah, sender will wait for the acknowledgement, isn't it? So we can say that stop and wait. Why it is called as stop and wait? Once we can say that one data packet is transmitted by the sender, then sender gets stopped, isn't it, and waiting for the acknowledgement, isn't it? That's why it is known as stop and wait, isn't it? So here we can say that yes, here we can say that yes, we are utilizing this particular time, that is transmission time, and we are completely waiting for this particular time, that is twice of pt, isn't it? So yes, we can say that we are utilizing tt and waiting for twice of pt, isn't it? Okay. Now in all protocols we'll see one term, that is efficiency. Efficiency, that is represented with eta, isn't it? So in all protocols, efficiency will be always useful time divided by total cycle time, isn't it? So here you can see useful time is what? Useful time is transmission time. We are utilizing pt only and waiting for twice of pt. So useful time is tt divided by total time is tt plus 2pt, isn't it? So this can be written like that: 1 upon 1 plus twice of pt divided by tt. And for simplicity, I can write this one like that: 1 upon 1 plus twice of a, where a is what? pt upon tt. Isn't it? Propagation time divided by transmission time. I hope this one is clear to everyone, isn't it? Okay. Next one, we can say that next one is throughput. Next one is throughput. So in different areas, you've seen what is throughput. Like in operating system, you know what is throughput. Throughput means we can say that number of processes or tasks completed per unit time, isn't it? Similarly, in a computer network, we can say that throughput means what? Yes, total. We can say that number of bits transmitted in the total time. So here, throughput will be what? Throughput will be the data size or amount of data, that is, let's say, length of data in total time. Total time is tt plus 2pt, isn't it? Where l is what? Data size or length of the packet, isn't it? And sometimes the throughput is also known as effective data rate or bandwidth utilization, isn't it? Throughput means bandwidth utilization or effective data rate, isn't it? Okay. So number of bits that can be transmitted per unit time, that is known as throughput. So that is the formula for the throughput, isn't it? Now this formula can be written like that or not: l upon bandwidth multiplied with bandwidth upon tt plus 2pt. Now you know length of data size upon bandwidth, that is what? Transmission time. So this becomes transmission time upon tt plus 2pt into bandwidth. Yes or no? Okay. Now this, you know, this is what? This is the efficiency. So efficiency will be multiplied with bandwidth, then we will be getting throughput, isn't it? So we can say that if throughput or bandwidth is multiplied with the efficiency, then that will be the throughput. Actually, sometimes, you know, let's say you buy any dongle. On that particular dongle device, it is written that the speed is 5 mbps. But actually, we did not get a 5 mbps speed. Why? Because yes, there will be some efficiency of the network, and because of that efficiency, we can say that some data rate get reduced, and effective data rate that we received, that is known as what? Throughput, isn't it? Let's say bandwidth was the 5 mbps. Somewhere it is written that bandwidth is 5 mbps. That means the maximum throughput of the system is 5 mbps. but because of efficiency we can say that yes, this one get reduced in a real, and that is known as what? Throughput. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So moving to the next one, let's say some examples. Let's say tt is given to you 2 milliseconds and propagation time is given to you 1 millisecond, and question is what is the efficiency. So you know efficiency is what? 1 upon 1 plus twice of a, that is 1 upon 1 plus twice of, yes, pt upon tt, isn't it? So that is 1 upon 1 plus 2 into 1 by 2, that is 1 by 2, that is 0 0.5 in percentage, that is 50%. With the timeline diagram you can analyze this one. Yes, this time was the tt was the 2 milliseconds, that is the, yes, useful time. And now there will be a pt for data, isn't it? That is 1 millisecond. And again there will be one more pt, that for we can say that acknowledgement. So we can say that we are utilizing the time tt, that is 2 millisecond, and we are waiting for the time that is twice of pt, that is 2 millisecond. That means we can say that half of the time we are utilizing and half of the time we are waiting. That's why here efficiency is what? 50%, isn't it? So in total, yes, we can say that here in total 4 milliseconds, 2 milliseconds are utilized and 2 milliseconds are waiting, isn't it? So we can say that yes, that's why this efficiency is 50%, isn't it? Okay. Next one, let's say it is given that if efficiency is at least 50%, then what is the relation between dt and pt, isn't it? So efficiency is greater than equal to 50%, that means the 0 0.5, isn't it? So efficiency can be written like that: tt upon tt plus 2pt, that is greater than equals to 1 by 2. So here we can say that 2tt is greater than equals to tt plus 2pt. So here we can conclude that transmission time must be greater than equals to twice of pt. If efficiency is at least 50%, then transmission time must be greater than equals to twice of pt, isn't it? So here we can say that tt can be written like that: length upon bandwidth, that must be greater than equals to twice of pt. Now length or data size, that must be greater than equals to twice of pt into bandwidth, isn't it? So L is what? Length of the data or data size. So data size must be greater than equals to twice in of pt into bandwidth. Then we can say that there will be a efficiency of or we can say that at least 50%, isn't it? Okay, write down next problem. Let's say bandwidth is given to you, that is 4 mbps, and propagation time is remember one thing, whenever mbps this one is given to you, so capital B means bytes, megabytes per second, and whenever it is written like that small b, then the meaning of this one is bits, megabits per second. So be careful, isn't it? Okay, now pt is given to you 1 millisecond and efficiency is given to you, that is greater than 0 0.5. Then what should be the data size? That is the question. So length, we can say that the length of the data or data size must be greater than equals to twice of pt into bandwidth. We seen now whenever efficiency is greater than 50%. So that must be greater than equals to 2 into what is pt? 1 millisecond, isn't it? Okay, 1 into 10 raised to power minus 3. bandwidth is 4 Mbps. That means 4 into 10 raised to power 6 bits per second. So it is going to be 2 into 4 into 10 raised to power 3. That is 8 into 10 raised to power 3 bits. Remember this one. And that is greater than equals to 10 raised to power 3 bytes. Isn't it? Okay. In the same question, we can calculate throughput also. So what will be the throughput? Throughput will be the efficiency into bandwidth. The efficiency is what? That is 1 by 2 into bandwidth is 4 Mbps. So that will be the effective data rate will be the 2 Mbps. Isn't it? Okay. So I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. Next one, yes, so we can say that factors which affects efficiency. Efficiency is what? 1 upon 1 plus twice of A, and that can be written like that 1 upon 1 plus twice of Pt divided by Tt, and this can be written like that 1 upon 1 plus twice of distance upon velocity into, yes, bandwidth upon L, length of the data. So you can say that distance between two, we can say that here velocity of the medium is fixed, isn't it? Medium means channel or link, whatever it is. And bandwidth is also fixed, because once we install any channel or any medium, then the bandwidth of that medium as well as velocity of signal inside that medium, that will be fixed, isn't it? So two parameters are there, distance and length of the data or data size. So from here you can see if distance increases, then complete denominator will increase. So overall efficiency will decrease, isn't it? So we can say that yes, if distance is large, then efficiency will be small. That's why it is said that stop and wait is more optimal for networks which has less distance, isn't it? So we can say that stop and wait is more optimal for networks which has less distance. So we can say that, for example, a LAN, isn't it? That's why we can say that, yeah, stop and wait is better for LAN and not good for WAN, wide area network, isn't it? Okay. Next one, we can say that, let's say if length increases or data size increases, value of this L is increases, then entire denominator, yes, decreases. So we can say that, yes, efficiency increases, isn't it? If efficiency is increasing, so we can say that if we increase the data size, then there will be more efficiency. That's why it is said that stop and wait is better when data size is larger, isn't it? Okay. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So that's all about, we can say that stop and wait. So some problems are there in stop and wait ARQ, isn't it? In the stop and wait flow control policy, isn't it? So we'll discuss one by one what are the problems and solutions of those problems, isn't it? Okay, guys. So in the next lecture, we'll see problems in the stop and wait and their solutions, isn't it? Okay, guys. Thank you so much.